Welcome. In the rapidly evolving world of artificial intelligence, the European Union's AI Act is, without a doubt, a landmark piece of global legislation. This guide is designed specifically for leadership to give you the essential knowledge you need to navigate one of its most foundational requirements, the AI literacy mandate found in Article 4.
So let's start with the compliance timeline, because the clock is definitely ticking. The most critical date for your organization, the one to circle in red, is August 2nd, 2026. That's when full public enforcement by national authorities will begin. Now, as you can see, the initial steps are already in our rearview mirror. The AI literacy rules became applicable, and the national authorities were designated last year. So what does that mean? It means the focus for every board and every executive team must now shift to ensuring full compliance and accountability before that fast approaching deadline.
And just to underscore the seriousness of compliance, the Act imposes truly substantial financial penalties. We're talking fines that can reach up to 35 million euros or a staggering 7% of your total worldwide annual turnover, whichever number's greater. This elevates the AI Act from just another compliance exercise to an absolutely critical element of your organization's core risk management strategy. Understanding those financial risks is really just the beginning. For leaders of US-based and multinational organizations, what's paramount is the Act's extensive and, frankly, sometimes surprising global reach. Let's dig into its extraterritorial impact.
This brings us to a very common and absolutely critical question we hear from leadership. If our operations, our servers, our headquarters, if they're all located entirely outside of Europe, does the AI Act still apply to us?
The answer to that question is an unequivocal yes. You see, the Kempe Act operates on what's called a country of destination principle, which you might be familiar with from the GDPR. What this means is the regulation isn't really concerned with your company's physical location. It's all about where the impact, the output of your AI systems is felt. So here's the key takeaway. If the output of your AI system is used by or affects individuals within the European Union, your organization is subject to the Act's jurisdiction. It doesn't matter if your headquarters are in Silicon Valley or Singapore. If your AI-powered HR software is used by just one employee in a Paris office, you are in scope. It's that simple. Okay, so now that we've established the Act's global reach, let's dive into the core of our discussion today, Article 4 and the mandatory requirement for AI literacy. And this isn't a passive requirement. It's a proactive obligation that requires your organization to act to its best extent. The Act's definition of AI literacy is really broad, and it goes far beyond just technical expertise. It's about cultivating a sophisticated awareness across your entire organization. The skills, the knowledge, and the deep understanding to deploy AI systems responsibly, with a full appreciation of both the incredible opportunities and the potential for legal and reputational harm. Now, that phrase, "to their best extent," is a really key part of this obligation. This is not a check-the-box exercise. It's a clear signal that regulators expect a thoughtful, context-sensitive, and frankly, a demonstrable approach that's tailored to your specific use of AI. A generic, one-size-fits-all training program simply will not cut it. It really demands a defensible strategy. Now, while the Act does allow for flexibility, the EU's AI office has outlined some very clear minimum expectations. Every organization must establish a baseline understanding of AI, clearly define its role, identify and mitigate the risks, tailor training to specific job functions, and, this is crucial, integrate legal and ethical principles into its core AI governance framework. To effectively tailor that training, one of the most critical first steps is to determine your organization's primary role under the Act. Are you a provider, creating the AI systems, or are you a deployer, using them? Or, as is often the case, are you both? This distinction is absolutely fundamental to shaping your specific training obligations. This slide lays out the distinction pretty clearly. Providers are the architects. They bear the main responsibility for conformity, for risk assessment, and for all that technical documentation. Deployers, on the other hand, are the operators. They're responsible for the proper use and effective human oversight of those systems. As you can imagine, their training needs are fundamentally different. It's also vital to recognize that these roles are not mutually exclusive. For instance, a software company might be a provider of a proprietary AI feature it sells to customers, while at the same time being a deployer of a third-party AI chatbot for its own customer service. So a thorough internal audit is absolutely necessary to accurately map out these distinct responsibilities.
So once you've mapped out your responsibilities, the next logical step is to build a practical compliance framework. Let's walk through how to translate these requirements into an actionable, role-based strategy for AI literacy that will actually stand up to regulatory scrutiny. We recommend a really straightforward yet powerful three-step approach. First, assess your current level of AI knowledge across the board to find those critical gaps. Second, tailor your training programs to specific roles and their risk exposure. And finally, implement the training and meticulously document everything, every curriculum, attendance record, and assessment to create a robust audit trail for regulators. To put a little more detail on that tailor step, think about a layered approach. Layer 1 provides a foundational understanding of AI governance for absolutely everyone. Layer 2 empowers the general workforce to use tools like generative AI safely and effectively. Layer 3 offers deep, role-based training for functions like legal, procurement, and HR. And Layer 4 delivers highly specific instruction for those people operating high-risk systems. This layered approach is really a key component to fulfilling that best extent obligation we talked about. With the enforcement deadline getting closer every day, the time for action is now. Inaction, quite frankly, is not a viable strategy. Before we wrap up, it is very important to make this clear. This guide provides a strategic overview to help you frame the compliance challenge. It's for informational purposes only and should not, under any circumstances, be considered a substitute for formal legal advice. Your definitive next step from here is to engage with qualified legal counsel. They can help you conduct a thorough analysis of your organization's unique AI footprint, determine your specific obligations as a provider or a deployer, and build a defensible compliance program well before the August 2026 deadline. The stakes are incredibly high, and proactive engagement is the key to mitigating risk and ensuring a secure future. Thank you.